Hello, everyone. Welcome to Harv's World with Caveman, Sharko, and Harv. Myself, of course, giving the beast a workout today. First harvest for this massive freaking machine. It should be pretty good. Big field of barley that we're harvesting up today, and we might actually get into another month or two. Don't know. We're trying to move things forward a little bit quicker. We still have plans and goals we want to achieve, but we also know people are kind of anxious for us to maybe move on to something else in the not too distant future. So we're going to be pushing a little bit harder than usual in the next few installments. Anyway, Jonathan, Atomic, Bruce, Graham, Mad Mexum. I know I've missed a few. Mr. Swede, how you doing? Paul Tunks, David Smith. And yeah, mulching. Are we going to mulch a field this big? I'm not sure it's it's worth our time, but we'll see. We will see. And yeah, this is the 60-foot Durus header that we're running Atomic. And Caveman, Sharko, say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
And look at that! Look at that straw swat this thing is leaving behind. It's huge. I'm not sure that little baler is going to it's going to handle it very well. I guess we'll find out though.
It works pretty good.
Oh, well, good. Swing your partner round and round. It's time for a do-si-do.
If it was any bigger, it wouldn't handle it very well.
It's wider than the tractor tires. That's awesome. One pass was 14,000 liters, so I can get about 4 passes before I'm going to need it unload. Hey, Jordan, how you doing, man? Jonathan says, hi, guys. So what have y'all been up to? Y'all having a good weekend so far? Yeah, that's a fair point, Atomic. 2.5% on a field this big. That could get significant in a hurry. That's for sure.
That is true.
Well, straw bales are bigger, Jonathan. We are running the largest size bale that we can, and I think... oh yeah, we did forget to mulch on Friday. That's a good point, David. Yes, we did. I think each straw bale is 9,000 liters. So that's a good thing, because on a field this size, we're probably going to have 500,000 liters of straw. At least 500,000. Oh, and of course, what do we always do? We forget to set our time. There we go. That's better. We needed this harvester on that big wheat field we were doing on Friday on Hobo's Hollow, that's for sure. Patrick. Oh, and we'll mulch it by hand too. How about that? We'll just push the mulchers around by hand. We'll really be suffering.
That would take a long time on that field.
That would just be ridiculous. We're not doing that. Not for 1 second.
That'd be the whole stream.
And then some.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jordan won 3 games bowling yesterday. Good for you, man.
Yeah, good.
Well, I guess that depends. I mean, you know, if you were playing against competitive bowlers, good for you. If you were playing against like 5-year-olds who can barely roll the ball, then that's just cheating.
I'm getting very high yields off this field.
Well, we should be at 100% on both of these.
Mm-hmm. I can do 1 pass and I'm almost full. Do like a single pass.
This thing has a heck of a turn radius on it too. Kevin! How's it going, Kev? I hope everything's going well with you, my friend. We don't get to chat as much as we used to. just because my work is so funky right now, in a good way. But yeah, I'll be headed out tomorrow morning again, and won't be back until Friday afternoon for more training assignments. So, Caveman, I know you said you have plans for your farm yet. What are your plans? What are we looking forward to?
Looking forward to.
Yeah.
For starters, I mean, I haven't got all the sugar production in full swing yet. That's one thing.
And what are you gonna do?
Well, let's see. I'm planning on purchasing actually purchasing a bigger harvester for sure for sugar cane and sugar beets.
Yeah, one of your Root Crops Plus mods.
Yep.
Hey, Peter Tutton, how you doing, my friend?
Was thinking about animals, but haven't decided 100% yet.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing I can think of at the moment.
Aight. What about you, Sharko? What are the plans for your farm?
Well, I have clothes I can sell now, so there's that.
Oh, that's good.
Might make another or a tailor shop. Might need to place one of those. Like keep up with my fabric production.
Oh, second tailor.
Yeah. Other than that, I might maybe upgrade my harvester, but I don't have any other plans right now.
Okay. I don't know if we showed this last stream or not, but I got rid of my bakery and put in an industrial sized bakery that is cranking out bread like there's no tomorrow. It's ridiculous how much this thing. It's a mod from Mod Hub. It's called Industrial Bakery. It should be available for all platforms, and it's 5 times faster than the base game bakeries, and it's totally worth it. In between, I sold $100,000 worth of bread, like just before the stream started. Now there is something funky going on. If you guys aren't aware of this yet, or if you're playing on multiplayer servers, trailers are not working properly at the moment. Any kind of trailer, I think once you strap down a pallet to it, it doesn't want you to take the pallet back off. And it doesn't recognize the pallets that are on your trailer. This is only in multiplayer. I've had no troubles in single player, but in multiplayer it's a huge pain in the neck. Huge.
I haven't had any problems on it in single player either, just multiplayer.
Right.
And in multiplayer, there's also a bug where apparently sell points that are also factories aren't actually going through what you put in when you go to sell stuff.
Oh, so it's selling it off but not using up any of what you're creating?
Right. Well, I'm talking about like, okay, so like the spinnery that's on the map, that not the one that Sharko owns, but the actual spinnery that was on the map when we started.
Yeah.
When you fill it with cotton, it will no longer accept cotton for some reason. It just quits.
Oh.
Even if you fast forward through a couple of days or something, it quits.
Gotcha.
It just won't take it anymore.
On Friday we were talking about the problem trying to seed without fertilizer. Yeah, there is a mod on Mod Hub now that will allow you to shut off fertilization on your harvesters and such, or on your seeders and such. So if you've got a seeder that runs fertilizer at the same time, there is a mod that will allow you to turn off the fertilizing option. I did see that. I probably forgot about it. I'm going to need it to unload here pretty soon, Caveman.
Yeah, I see that. Working towards that now.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You say the trailer at the end of the field can be used for your feed.
Wait, say what?
Caveman parked a small trailer at the end of this field.
Yeah.
That I'm unloading into, so you can just use that one for your feed.
I need about anywhere from 50 to 75,000 liters that I want to keep back for chicken feed. Because they're not going through much right now. But, oh man, this thing unloads quick, too.
And this is going to get ran over. This one's just going to go ahead and get ran over to your silo.
Okay. And then that'll pretty much take care of the chicken feed. How much do those smaller trailers hold?
33,000, I think. 30, somewhere between 30 and 34.
Because you've got almost 60 there. You got about 52?
56.
56? Okay. Yeah, Jordan. I'll run over there and show you guys here in just a minute. But it cranks out. It really cranks out stuff fast. Hello, Paulius. This harvester mod comes directly from Stevie's Modding. Pretty sure maybe I haven't linked Stevie's on our Discord yet. I probably should do that, but his mods all download from his Facebook page. But it's a pretty sweet harvester. I have to admit. And it's I mean, I bought an increased capacity, but I only increased to 60,000 liters. I want to say it will go up to 250,000 liters. I'm enjoying FS19 on PS4 and have decided to upgrade to 22. I'm debating on going PC, but I have problems with keyboard and mouse, but can use a controller. Does a controller work? Yeah, plenty of guys. In fact, Caveman and, well, Sharko used to, but I don't think he does anymore. They use controllers.
The controllers work just like it's normal as they would on a console.
Yep.
Yep. I'm using an Xbox controller right now.
I was using a PS4. I mean, it broke, but that was like a 4-year-old controller.
So the PS4 controllers work also, just plugging them into the PC?
Yeah, both controllers have to be plugged into the PC. There's a few that don't, but
Oh, okay.
like Xboxes, I don't think have to. You can link some of them, but most controllers have to be plugged in. But yeah, they're just plug and play. You plug them in, they work.
Nice.
For the Xbox, if you want it to be wireless, it has to be a V2 Xbox One controller or newer. That's when they actually added the full-blown Bluetooth capability to the controller.
Hey, Paulius, what 16 times map are you playing, man? We're always looking for new and interesting maps.
Mm-hmm.
We were having a pretty good time on Hobo's Hollow. I mean, it's a 4 times map, but gosh, we switched to a 16 times, I'm going to be lost again, because that 4X felt massive. Like, we've been playing on 1X maps for so long now, it's like, holy shnikes, Batman, this is just gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been talking about, I mean, everybody's played out Elmcreek at this point. I know it. It's been everywhere. Everybody's been doing it. So we have been discussing where we want to go. If you guys have suggestions, we're always open to them. We have a general game plan at the moment, but if there's an awesome map that comes out between now and then, we're always game to check it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some like cool features that other ones don't have or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they did, Jonathan. Giants broke the pallets on multiplayer. Which is particularly frustrating when you're running auto loads, and as many pallets as we have floating around the map now, it's a kind of a bit of a pain.
It is.
Just a bit.
Huron County, Michigan. I don't think I've seen that one. Just downloaded it today, but looks pretty good. Okay.
Okay.
Anytime, Atomic. Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Huron County's only standard fruits. Yeah, you know, I think especially long-term players are really looking for maps that have unique and innovative features that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Either fortunately or unfortunately. Jonathan's been playing Maypole, 4X map. Feels like Wither Farms from FS19. Open roads and hedges you can cut the post to remove. Okay, that's nice.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Peter says there's an Aussie map out due soon, New South Wales. That could be interesting. We could talk to Marilyn. Marilyn lives in, my friend Marilyn, who drops into the streams from time to time. She's had other interests lately, but I did talk to her just last weekend. FaceTimed with her. She lives in New South Wales. And what's mildly interesting about that is that she's from Wales in Great Britain originally, so she went from Wales to New South Wales. Although she's lived all over the place. Scotland for a while. London. She has lived a full and interesting life. And I have yet to play an Australian map. That could be pretty interesting if it's a good map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want 128 times map.
No, you don't, Sharko. No, you don't.
If you get done harvesting over there, Sharko, you might consider grabbing the bale trailer and start collecting these straw bales.
Will do.
Patrick, welcome to the Green
Patrick.
Machine. Thank you so much. And for those of you who don't know, Patrick is a software engineer who is, or has, I should say, developed a mod manager tool for PC players, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And Caveman knows the ins and outs of it way more than I do, so I'm going to let him talk about it. But everything that I've seen, and I use it all the time now, it's fantastic.
Oh. Basically, it was designed for people that manage dedicated servers. So you don't have to tell everybody, hey, this mod got updated or this mod's been removed and all this stuff. Basically, you sign into the server like you would sending somebody the mod download link for the server through this thing that Patrick has developed, and it pulls down what you have or what you don't have, checks to make sure it's the same version that's on the server, and also has the ability to remove mods that aren't on the server. And you can set it up to where you have different folders for different servers. You can save server passwords, server search terms, that sort of thing. But it also works for single player too. If you just want to separate your mods into different folders and stuff, you just do that as well.
Well, it's a tool, right, it's not, so it's ease of life for server administrators, but it's the players who use the tool. The tool's not for the administrator per se, but it just makes the administrator's life easier because you can click a button and automatically upload or download every mod on the dedicated server you're trying to join and put them in a separate folder.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you've never been on that server before, but you have the button set to click for that server, once you try to join, it's going to look at that server and say there's 50 mods on here, and it's going to start downloading each and every one of them and the exact right version for you. So there's no more of this, You know, like we had in FS19, especially, it was bad, where you had to try to figure out what was what, and if you had a newer version of a mod, you had to get somebody to give you an older version. It's really just cleaned up so many tedious tasks for players in general, and it does make the dedicated server administrator's life a lot easier as well.
I used it this today to get on.
Yeah, me too.
Same here.
I think it updated 4 mods for me. I think it did.
Yeah, and that
It
was
also launches the game for you too, and keeps like the passwords. So if you have multiple servers, it'll keep the passwords for you. It's nice.
that is nice, very nice. Caveman's on it like a carb on it, and he's adding more features all the time. This is still a work in progress, and my understanding is he intends to keep it to a donations only platform. It's not going to be a pay software unless you want to throw a few bucks at Patrick to help support the cause. I mean, there are expenses involved in creating software, especially if you want it. Is it registered with Microsoft, or I'm not sure what the terminology is there, but you know, it's a few $100 to make sure that it's a registered piece of software, so that you don't get these warnings and alerts every time you go to install it.
Patrick, feel free to chime in if we're missing something or something you want to add.
Absolutely. It's your software, bud. Maybe we should have just drug him into chat with us for a little bit.
If the shield's done.
Excellent. We almost need a second baler.
Okay, this one, do you want me to take it to your
Yeah,
flour mill?
flour mill, please. If you don't have it yet, Jonathan, I want to verify this first. But Patrick, is it generally available to the public at this point? Are you ready to give it out to folks? I know we've been using it.
Do you have a tractor for the trailer down here, or is it just the Fendt?
Whatever you want to use. Or if you want to take that trailer and empty the barley that's in it, and then use that tractor, you can do that too.
That makes sense. Because your Fendt's so wide, it doesn't just make quite as much sense.
It's a big tractor now. Altoona, how you doing, bud? Yeah, Kev, we'll see you in just a minute. I guess some of the features that Patrick is going to add, one is the ability to automatically delete your log file and to automatically delete your shader cache. So just push of a button, and those two things actually can solve a lot of problems. They're real simple things, but they can solve a lot of problems that people have with the game and don't even realize it.
Do you want me to drag him up? He is on Discord.
If he wants to, if he's willing to chat with us for a little bit, sure. Because I'm sure he can explain it a lot better than we can.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay, Patrick, or?
Alright, do you need any more feed, or can I dump this into your mill?
How much is in there?
33,000.
Go ahead and put it in the silo. If I need to transfer it, I can transfer it to the mill, but I can't take it back out of the mill, so.
It's a code signing certificate. Lets people know that it's trustworthy program.
Right.
Alright, dragging him up.
Okay.
Hello, Patrick.
Patrick, how you doing, man?
Good. How
Hello.
you doing?
Doing great.
Nice.
Did we miss anything about your software?
No, you got it pretty much in a nutshell. I mean, the biggest thing that I really wanted to do with this was to make it an obvious user interface. In other words, you could figure it out without having to go to a video or anything like that.
That's fantastic.
That was my biggest thing. You know, I agonized over creating a user interface. I changed like just the new to create the new mod button screen. I must have changed that at least 8 times before I felt like I got something close to obvious.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, that is an important fact that I think a lot of us just take for granted, but, you know, having that ability to just look at something and know what it does intuitively is huge. It's a big deal.
Right. Well, I remembered I was using PV tools, and I was, you know, I got that was, oh, it's great. It can change, you know, mod folders and whatnot.
Right.
And I looked at the UI and I was lost. Where do I even start? And I had to go watch a video to figure this out. And I says, this is the wrong place to start with me.
Right. Yeah, PV Tools does a good job, but you're right, it's not very intuitive sometimes.
And I do this for a living professionally, and I see this from a lot of people. They don't spend any time thinking about how other people are going to use their software.
And
It's
that's
all about the back end, not the front end.
yeah. And I feel like that's one of the things that Giants actually did a pretty good job of with FS22 is they really started to make the interface a little more user-friendly, more straightforward.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I really wish they had done is something like the mod folders, but I can understand why they didn't do it. I think also a part of it is, you know, you could distribute a virus this way. So would you want your program to be responsible for potentially distributing a virus?
No, that's a fair point. But on their end, well, yeah, I guess if you're installing third-party mods, that could cause issues, and I just jacked that up completely. Oh well.
Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
Altoona, thank you so much, my friend. Very much appreciated.
So I have lots of plans that I'm going to be adding to this mod folder. What's on my to-do list? Log viewer. I want to be able to save a game before you run FS22. Have a restore screen so that you can restore things. I recently added the ability to save like the form's position so that it's not always starting in the center of the screen. So if you want to start it on a separate monitor and always be there.
Nice.
So I've been thinking about how do I help people who decide to say self-host. You know how you can start yourself up as the host.
Sure, yeah.
And player at the same time. How do I help those people? Because they have to distribute the mods just the same. So I thought about my current plan is to hook it up to Google Drive and have it integrate with Google Drive, and it will put the mods on Google Drive, and it will use the same technology to figure out updates, deletes, and all works. And instead of the URL link for the mods server, the dedicated server, you would put the URL link for the Google Drive.
Or people are saying they can't quite
I
hear
know.
Patrick.
Hopefully
Oh, really?
They ought to hear him now. I just turned him up by 100%.
Oh, is this better?
That's good on my end. It should be better for everybody because they should be pretty much pulling from my audio now. So,
All right, so I'll go back and talk about what I was thinking my plans are. You know, a log viewer. One of the things with the log viewer is when that log gets really big, figuring out the warnings and errors. So I want to have one button that will just filter out all of the warnings and errors and just show you those.
oh
You
yeah,
click a line and then you can unfilter it and you can see the context of it. So that
Yeah.
would be useful for modders. I wanted to add the ability to save the game before you start FS22, because you can tie a button to a particular save game, and it can automatically save that game. And you'll be able to restore save games at some point. So I'll have a nice UI screen for that. You can
Nice.
save the position of the mod folder switcher, so that way you can put it into like the second monitor, so you can always see it. I wanted to be able to also show mods that need to be deleted and re-downloaded individually. I ran into a situation where 3 of the mods that we were using from a third party, they updated, but they never changed the version number or whatever. So I had to tell people, well, go in and delete these 3 files and then run it. It'll just pull them down again. It would have been nice to have a UI that says, hey, just go into that, then delete these following files, and it'd be really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And the other one is to help people with who don't use dedicated servers, but host the server themselves, kind of like what you do, Harv, with the I guess the Improntus.
Right.
So that way we can we'd integrate it with Google Drive to share the mods that way, and then they would figure out whether they have the correct mods and pull down updates, or the same technology that I had for the dedicated server.
Yeah, that'll be handy. Really handy.
Well, it's like kind of like having a dedicated server with infinite number of maps and infinite number of mod. I guess I'll call it a mod pack, right?
Right.
Right. And I don't know how many people have used Minecraft. Where they have like the modded Minecraft, and they have mod packs. And basically how those work is they have URLs in the mod pack, and it goes to the individual author's site and then downloads it and then constructs a mod pack with all of the mods in the map in one unit.
Okay.
And I was thinking that would be pretty cool to set something up like that. So if someone puts together a map with a certain set of mods that creates a user experience, that it could figure that out for you. And maybe like an inventory of mod packs.
That would be really cool.
That would be really cool.
You have put a lot of thought and effort into this thing. It's going to turn into a major piece of software before too much longer.
It's actually been fun to do this. Coding is my hobby, and I've been doing it since about 12. And every once in a while I come across something that just makes me passionately want to code, and this kind of turned into that.
Most of the great coders that I've ever met in my life started out when they were kids. I used to have a friend in college who, he was completely self-taught, but he was writing his own operating system at the time. Yeah, it's impressive what you guys can do over time.
Well, I'm actually self-taught also. I remember I think I was in middle school. I think I was about 8 years old. I discovered the first TRS-80, and I saw this programming book in BASIC. And I went and read the entire book in 2 days and started coding.
Nice.
And about 5 days later, I had a breakout program written in it.
You're a programming prodigy, basically.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, really. I read a book and I had a working game in like 2 days.
Yeah,
just sounds like it's one of those things you picked up and it instantly clicked, and
yeah,
that's awesome.
And, I think I'm not so sure that I'm a prodigy in that respect. That I just was really passionate about it and really wanted to learn. Have you ever gotten something you just like, oh my God, I really want to know this, and you spend a lot of time learning about it, and that's what happened to me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm sure. Yeah, really not too bad. But I remember my uncle and I, he and I, we built a 4-bit computer with a hexadecimal keypad, and we had the code in hexadecimal. Of course, this is back in the late 1970s, you know, and we got excited when we could get an LED to blink, you know.
That's awesome. How many people even know what hexadecimal is anymore?
It's not used often,
No, it's not.
or as often as you think it is.
Well, I didn't get...
Jonathan Blair is asking here, did I add a temp server thing to a map running only on when you're on it? I'm assuming he's talking about the self-hosting, where you host your own server. So that's one of the things I'm currently working on. That's going to take a little bit more work. That has to integrate with Google Drive. So that's not there yet.
Let me catch up with everybody real quick. Paul Tunk's been creating an awesome farm on No Man's Land. That's cool. I've been looking at No Man's Land a little bit. I've yet to play No Man's Land, but I need to do that one of these days. Ma 2112. My Sunday's going well so far. Streaming days are always good days for me. Almost always. Unless things go crappy, and then they're crappy days. But not happy days. Crappy days. What else we got going on? Sprue and Glue. I don't think I got to say hi to you, or our Sunday moderator. Hopefully that thing will just shift into place. Yep, it did. The only thing I know about hexadecimals is from The Martian. I would say a lot of people have learned about hexadecimals from the movie The Martian with Matt Damon, which I love that movie, but the book was so much better.
Aren't they usually?
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Book
More details in books.
Oh, I mean, case in point, have you ever seen the thickness of the Harry Potter series?
Oh, yeah.
Massive.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they don't even put a fraction of what's in the book into the movie. It'd be impossible. It would be like a 16-hour movie.
I was about to say, I mean, those are long movies already.
Uh-huh.
And that's not to say every word in a book needs to be in a movie. It really doesn't. But
And it's hard to actually put into a movie what they're thinking in their head and they're not saying out loud.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know, like, there's a few scenes in Harry Potter that they changed because in, like, I remember them saying in video, like, the way they did it, it would not have made sense for, like, anything. It would have just been... So I think it's, like, the book or whatever, Dumbledore or whatever was getting, like, was just calm about Harry putting the, his name or whatever, and they made it a lot more angry on movie because it wouldn't have made sense in, like, a video to just have someone calm asking about it. It made more sense to be angry.
What are you talking
Kind of thing.
about? Are you talking about the Triwizard Tournament thing?
Yeah.
I've got a 650 horsepower tractor to pull a 5-meter wide mulcher.
That's underpowered.
You got a bale sitting out here still, Sharko, just FYI.
It's a different size.
Oh, that's weird.
So,
oh, probably the
yeah.
first one that came out.
So I'll have to do it last. Or I can go and put that one straight into your it's straw, right? Over by your TMR mixer.
Yeah, that's fine. Anywhere over there is fine.
And you got two, other than that one, two full trailers off that field.
Oh, and we haven't done your field yet either, have we?
Nope.
Nailing it now.
If you've got mulchers, I would advise getting them because
Give me a second, I'll send mine over.
this is gonna take for bloody ever. That was
That's
the
one
only.
thing I don't have.
That was the only issue that I had with mulching was it's gonna take forever. CFL, how you doing, bud? Good to have you with us. And yeah, talking about books and movies, I got on this real jag, I don't know, long time ago of reading a Stephen King book and then trying to watch the movie. And just, it was always disappointing. Speaking of movies, we're missing Lifehawk today.
Yeah, we are.
CFL's getting a computer for his birthday.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell your parents to buy one for me for my birthday too.
I was thinking that, you know, if you put the mulcher on the front, I don't know if it would work on the front of the tractor, and maybe like a cultivator on the back. I wonder if that would work.
Oh, we do that with the stone picker. We put the 9M on the front, the Lizard 9M subsoiler,
I mean,
and
if
then
you
the
use the
stone
what?
picker on the back.
Is it the 8M that doesn't drop seeds or rocks? I mean, subsoiler.
Yeah, it's the 8-meter one, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the Agrasem.
Right, cultivators don't drop rocks, or at least I think they bring up small rocks, which I think you can just roll out. You don't have to pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
That's also our source of lime.
I mean,
Right.
lime's pretty easy to make though. We have a lot of it.
Yeah, we do, but you can never have too much because you can sell it.
It's true.
Yeah, we can sell lime now by train at least.
And mulching, I'm not sure mulching is worth it. I think it's what they're saying, a 5% increase.
2.5.
2.5.
2.5.
See, that's what I was saying. I'm not sure I want to mulch because it's really time consuming, and until somebody makes a bigger mulcher.
I think there's a mulcher that I seen on Mod Hub, but it's like 3-in-1. It mulches, rolls, and I think something else. Cultivates, I think.
I still don't think it's very big though.
I don't think it is either.
I think, well, it's bigger than what we have now.
They have a, you can get I think it's a 50-foot one, or is it 50-meter? I can't remember. Which is a cultivator, mulcher, and plow all in one. Does all of them.
Where's that at?
Where did I see that?
If it was a Bex mod, Bex is gone. She quit.
No, it's not a Vex mod. I could have sworn I'd seen that. Actually, it might have been on your website. Come to think of it.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah, stretch on it. Put it up there.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's that 3-1: mulcher, cultivator, and plow.
We might have to look into that. Our fields are starting to get awfully big.
20
Yeah.
meter
We're
working
not
width.
that big yet.
It's 20-meter working width, and it goes at 25 kilometers an hour. A little on the unrealistic side, but yeah. You got other things you want to do besides just plow all day.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at it from that perspective. But it depends, you know, your crowd that you have may want to see you suffer, and that's what. Right.
I mean, well, they don't want to watch an hour of mulching. That's for sure.
It depends on the shenanigans you get up to.
Well, that's fair. Yes, I know. I know, Christine, that your name is not Christine. I am traveling for work right now and will be for the next month or two. So everything is a little bit on hold at the moment as far as video content goes. Now, I am planning... Really?
Sorry, excuse me.
Really? I am planning to do a tutorial series with my nephew on the Friday night streams at some point, but again, as long as I'm having to travel for work, I just don't have time. So stay tuned, but I can't make any promises just at the moment.
I noticed that Peter Houghton
Yep, Tutton.
is asking where to get it. And as for problems running FS22, I have not put in the thing to delete the log viewer and the shader file, so it probably won't help you, with your problems running FS22 at this point. I mean, if you're interested in trying it out, since you're part of Harvest World, ask Caveman, give him the link. I have no problems.
Okay, I can. If you want me to, I can just share it in chat real quick.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll do that.
All right. Keep in mind, it doesn't have a code signing certificate at this point. So you may get warnings from your antivirus saying that it's an untrustworthy program. Norton antivirus is especially bad with that right now. You'll actually have to temporarily turn off your antivirus to install it. And then you'll have the smart filter, the Microsoft smart filter will then say, we've never seen this before, we don't know if it's trustworthy. So you'll get those, so you'll have to say, yes, I trust this program, yes, I want to install it, I know it could be malware, type of thing. Which is why I'm working on getting a code signing certificate so that it'll take all of that away. That's why I don't want to release it to general public yet. There's just too many questions to answer just on that front. And people will get spooked.
There is now a link in chat if you are interested.
And even if you even if you put text on there or something that says, yes, I know this doesn't have a certificate, but it is perfectly safe, yada yada yada, people don't read.
Right.
They
Right.
just don't.
Right.
Quite frankly, if I got that from an executable, I would be leery of actually installing it myself. So,
Yeah, I would be too. That would honestly scare me more than one that just popped up with it to start with.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. Those code signing certificates, they are not cheap. They range anywhere from $70 a year to up to about $500 a year, depending upon how much you want. Like the $500 a year basically gets you instant reputation. They basically do a background check. They look up my passport and all of that stuff. It takes about 5 days to do this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty quick for a security clearance, though.
Yeah, and I have to do that every single year. And renew at the, $500 level every
Wow.
single year. So, yeah, so it's not cheap. It's why that I was putting in a donations, tip in there, which I don't think is in the current program right now. So I might have to release a new one just so people can help out if they can.
Yeah, and
It's not
these are not donations to me, guys. These are donations directly to Patrick. So don't send them to Harv's World if you really mean them to go to Patrick. If you send them to me, I'm keeping them.
and I don't blame you.
Harv needs the love too.
Right. Absolutely. We all do.
We all do. Absolutely. So many people give so much to the farm sim community. And 9 times out of 10, they're doing it for free. So
Okay, where do you want your baler at, Harv?
put it over by the greenhouses. And I'm going to swap tractors so I can just put a helper on this.
I'll say I already have a helper on that field.
Good. I'll have a second one. It's time to start making some other fools do our work.
We'll have to do some cleanup though around the edge, but
Yeah, I mean, that's just helper natural. I'm going to run over and show everybody the industrial bakery. iPlay, how are you doing? Good to have you with us again. So I moved my bakery over here along the road, so it had nice frontage. But this is the industrial bakery from Mod Hub, and it runs 5 times faster than base game bakeries. And anybody who's done flour production knows that you have to have 3 or 4 bakeries from the base game to keep up with flour production or just sell the additional flour. This is running pretty close to 1-to-1. Although I'm not producing much cake yet because I don't have the eggs for it, but I've gotten a few pallets, and these things are stupidly valuable. Like 8,000-9,000 a pallet. Although they are pretty cakes. I guess if you're planning to get married, you could get one of these. Strawberries on top.
I mean, what you put into it, they should be really nice cakes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. It's not easy to make cakes. Because you have to have a dairy, you got to have a flour mill, you have to have chickens for eggs. Was it strawberries, wheat, butter, eggs, milk, and
2,000 liters of eggs is how much now they sell for?
quite a bit. 1,000 eggs per 1,000. Look at all that straw we got off there. Almost 3. That's 30, 60. Probably 100 bales of straw there.
Probably.
That's crazy. Eggs are selling right now for 4,200 per 1,000 liters.
I wonder how many liters a cake is.
Depends on the size of the cake.
I guess, yeah, you can have like the double-decker, triple-decker cakes.
Well, if you look at the cake recipe, 2 liters of eggs goes into 5 cakes.
That's a lot of eggs.
That is a lot of eggs.
Yeah, those cakes must be massive.
Yep. But if you look at what the cakes sell for, it's craziness. Where were
I mean,
those?
isn't it like 2 flour though also goes into it, which seems way under amount?
It's 2 of
Yeah.
everything. 2 strawberries, 2 milk, 2 butter, 2 eggs.
I'm just trying to think of going to my local bakery and buying a cake. You know, it's usually about what, $150 for a full blown cake. You know, with the cream cheese icing and that stuff like that.
You mean like for a wedding cake? 'Cause I think a standard cake isn't going to run quite that spendy.
Well, they use, I would say the artificial frosting, which doesn't taste all that great. But if you have a nice cake with the, at least the bakery I have in town has these, you don't go to your local grocery store to pick up these cakes. You go to an actual bakery.
Yeah.
And they're wonderful cakes, and they also do wedding cakes and carrot cakes and cappuccino cakes. And by
Right.
the way, cappuccino cakes and eating the little chocolate covered cappuccinos on top. Man, only had one of those slices, and I was Spider-Man. I was crawling across the walls and the ceilings, and oh, it was not a good time.
I used to have a local grocery store that sold those chocolate covered coffee beans in bulk. And yeah, you didn't want to eat more than 2 or 3 of them. You were bouncing off the walls.
I mean, it sounds good.
Oh, it's good.
Oh. Sounds like it, yeah.
Oh yeah, then you're like buzzing the entire day. You can't stop. Oh my gosh, it's awful.
I don't know. I drink an awful lot of coffee. It might take a little bit more. A little bit more for me.
Yeah, it depends on your tolerance, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we got another mulcher here.
Oh, excellent.
There was one on sale for $7,000.
No, I think the Diablo was on sale, wasn't it?
It was. I bought it.
And I just got clocked by the train again, which will make everybody happy. Oops.
This looks really tiny on these tractors. Like you have this massive tractor that I have with tracks and everything. There's just pulling this like little mulcher behind it. Just doesn't look right.
Well, there you go. All you got to do, Jonathan, is buy some chocolate-covered coffee beans.
I don't actually know if you guys have these in the States. I don't think you do, but coffee crisps?
Nope.
No, those are really good. It's basically coffee but put into like a chocolate bar. It's actually really good.
I like coffee ice cream a lot. That's one of my favorites too.
Oh, you can't go wrong with coffee ice cream.
Never had coffee ice cream.
Oh, Graham got hit by the train also. Wow, perfect timing. You're not a real FS player until you've been clocked by the train at least once.
I've never hit the train, but I have sunk quite a few tractors.
No, you've just hit every body of water known to man.
That's true.
That's right. I never hit the train. The train hit me.
That's right. It's not
Marco
my.
hits everything else.
It's not my fault. The train keeps getting in my way.
Yeah, the train company's the only company that actually likes to work with me, so I don't hit them. They're too fast.
There you go. Nescafe this way. I didn't even know they still made Nescafe, if I'm completely honest. What else do we got? Michael Viafana, good to have you with us, man. Thanks for joining us. Trader Joe's sells those, apparently. Okay. I don't think I've got it. Well, I don't have anything technically near me. That's actually one of the nice things about traveling for work is the city that I'm going to has everything. So, like on my way home or the night before I head home, I'll just buy groceries there, so I don't have to make an extra hour-long trip to buy groceries when I'm home.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Oh, that's smart.
Atomic Sneeze, you want Kahlua? Oh, Kahlua cake. Now that sounds good.
Well, that does sound good.
I'll take a Kahlua cake.
Yeah, with my self-control, I would probably have the cake and eat the entire thing.
Yeah, I'm bad about that too. Well, it's not as bad with sweets for me, but if it's salty, I've actually been seeing something lately that looks amazing, and I'm afraid to try it because I'm afraid I'll be disappointed. But you know how they do pork rinds?
Yes.
Well, now there is a chicken skin chips. Where they fry chicken skin and make snack chips out of them. And I don't know, personally for me, my favorite part of fried chicken is peeling the skin off and chowing down on it.
Yeah, or having a good roasted, or having a good roasted chicken. You know, where the chicken is the skin of the chicken's nice and crispy. You know, with all of the spices on it.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Never serve a chicken with the skin on. That's reserved for the cook. At least, well, you can't do that with fried chicken. That would just be rude, but...
Yeah, fried chicken. There's no batter on it, no nothing. It's just fried chicken.
It's just the cooked meat underneath. It's all been stripped clean.
That would be terrible. Or disappointing if you got that.
It would be disappointing.
It would be disappointing. Jonathan drinks 12 cups a day. I probably come close to that myself. That's probably about what I do. I've got a 14 cup coffee maker and a giant mug that I fill up twice a day when I'm at home. When I'm traveling, not so much because I don't have instant access to coffee, but
I don't drink coffee either. I'm just a morning person usually.
Oh, I
You know,
didn't
haven't
drink
drank
coffee.
yet.
I didn't drink coffee until I had kids. Let me tell you, kids will drive you to drink. Let me tell you.
coffee and booze.
Yeah. Sometimes both at once.
Hey,
Mix them together. There you go.
There's nothing wrong with Irish coffee.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
No. My parents put Baileys in their coffee.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bailey's is good. Newall, my friend, how you been, man?
Oh wow.
Good
Hey,
to-
New All.
Yeah, hello.
And thanks for that donation. Very kind and generous of you, man. You can buy it on Amazon, Jonathan. It's a Cuisinart.
Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
Absolutely outstanding, that's right. Yeah, just look up Cuisinart coffee. Cuisinart 14 cup coffee maker. It even comes with its own built-in water filtration system. You just got to buy the filters for it.
Cool.
Absolutely, Jonathan. And for anybody who has just dropped in, we're talking to Patrick today, who is a software engineer that's been developing a nice mod manager software, and it's going to be a lot more than that by the time he's done for FS22. And Caveman just linked that again. It's the GitHub link that we have there. Truck Guy Baby, new subscriber to Harvest World. Thank you so much for joining us, Truck Guy. Very cool.
And note to anyone who is just getting on and downloading that link, it doesn't have a code signing certificate, so it's going to show up as untrustworthy at this point. It's
Right.
something that I'm working on, so just be aware that it's probably telling you it's going to be full of malware, or the antivirus is going to, scream at you. So it's up to you whether you decide you want to install it because of that.
But it
Soon
is
I
a
will be getting a certificate for that, so you won't see that.
safe piece of software.
I think it is. That's entirely up to you. There's nothing that says that guarantees it to be safe. That's what the
Well, that's
code
fair.
signing certificate is.
Do you have a disclaimer
Personally.
that says I'm not responsible for any damages to your system? You're installing this of your own free will. Blah blah blah.
Actually, I don't have any disclaimer on it at this point. It was mostly a piece of beta software that I was putting out to just mostly a few people.
Right, right.
Having it tested, so I'd need to go and put all of that stuff in. I guess that's the reason why I haven't really released it to a lot of people yet.
We're doing great, Newall. Doing great, man. Traveling a lot for work, so I'm not able to stream as much right now or make videos, unfortunately. But other than that, can't really complain. I'm pretty sure Sharko and Caveman are doing well also, but I'll let them speak for themselves.
I'm doing
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, we're both doing at the same time. I'm doing pretty good too.
And you couldn't write this stuff. I don't know how we do it.
I don't know either.
Oh, and just to throw something else out there that everybody, I'm sure, is aware of at this point, but we do like to give those reminders that Farming Sins, who was our guest not long ago, but his wife is still running her GoFundMe to help with her cancer treatments to keep their family going during a very difficult time. So if you have the opportunity to help, please do. And that doesn't necessarily mean just financially. If you know of a good social media site where this could reach a lot of people that might be willing to help, feel free to share that link And that link is in the video description right below the stream. So, and maybe we can get somebody to post it up for us here too.
Pretty sure Sprue and Glue's been posting it.
That's right. Sprue's been linking it, which I appreciate. Thanks, man.
Apparently he hasn't linked it in a while.
Peter Tutton has 5 kids and he still doesn't drink. Just coffee. Well, the coffee keeps your energy up, so that's fair.
That's probably it. Yeah.
That reminds me of a story when I was growing up. My neighbor across the street would always, his kids would do some shenanigan, and he would start cursing them out, and he says, my kids are driving me the drink, and then he'd go to the refrigerator and pull a lot of Pepsi.
Well, that's his first mistake. He should get
Right.
Coke.
Nah, he should be drinking Dr. Pepper.
Should be drinking root beer. Something else used to drink. Well, it's beer.
I actually ever saw him drink an alcoholic drink, so. But, I was still a young kid, so maybe he wouldn't drink in front of me, so who knows.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I've
I
heard.
don't drink,
I've
so-
heard people say I don't trust anybody who doesn't drink.
Well, then don't trust me.
No, we don't.
Especially with new equipment.
That is fair.
You remember your first beer you ever tried?
Yep.
Oh man, I think my uncle gave me, I think it was a black ribbon beer. Oh my gosh, that must have been the worst tasting thing. I don't think I tried another beer for years on that.
Black Ribbon or Black Label?
Oh, it was Black Label, yes, Black Label.
I remember Black Label. The first I ever officially had was called Little King's Cream Ale. I'll just say don't ever. I'm not even sure they still make Little Kings, but even if they did, just don't.
And nowadays you have all of these breweries that,
All the microbrews, yeah.
oh,
Mhm.
they're wonderful.
I'm not like a beer connoisseur. I mean, give me straight up Coors any day. Real Coors, not Coors Light. That
Yeah, of course. Light or the real one.
that's but there are some like my favorite microbrew is there's a brewery, it's the Alaskan Brewery. That's what it's called, Alaskan Brewery, and they do one called Alaskan Amber that's really, really good. And then there's a brewery in Newport, Oregon called Rogue, which if you've ever seen Dead Guy Pale Ale, that comes from Rogue Brewery. They do one called Double Chocolate Oatmeal Stout, which is fantastic also.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Actually, here's a good question. I noticed that there's 2 tip points on this, on the where you can dump the stones. Does it actually pay you any more to dump it in the top versus the side?
Well, Sharko has a theory about that. I'm not sure how accurate that theory is, but supposedly if you tip it in the top,
Code says it.
if you tip it
Yeah.
in the top, it pays you. If you tip it in the side, it doesn't.
Or pays you more or something. I don't know. It's what the code says. If it does it, I don't actually know. But
Right.
Well, that would explain why if you go to the sell point, you actually see it as a buy point as well as a production point.
See, that's one of the things I've been noticing on my just private playthrough. The industrial bakery I was just showing off shows up as a sell point too, but it doesn't pay me anything when I tip into it. So I don't know.
I was just wondering if it has some of the code still left or something into it, and it doesn't actually do it.
What I'm still looking for, and I wish GTX would get on the ball with this, is a good placeable TMR mixing machine. His were, in my opinion, the best in FS19. And I'm really hoping he transfers those over to FS22.
I've actually been using the one from Fed Action. You're familiar with that, but they're basically the same people that do the, was it the North March map?
Oh, North Frisian March.
Yeah, it's the same developer that makes that.
Oh, okay.
And his EMR mixer is also a silo. So it's actually based upon the actual silo, the three silos, and you can, drop in your straw, hay, and silage, and you can choose to mix it, turn it off, and just extract the silage if you want.
Oh,
So
that's
it's a
interesting.
combination.
Hey, if you have a link for that, drop it in the FS22 mods.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't own the stone mixer, it will pay you.
We actually, I guess we haven't tried that when we're not together half weeks. I know when we started we did.
I mean, I can. The next time I fill up, which won't be long, because this map has so many rocks on it. I'll run it over to Caveman's and see if it pays me for tipping into his.
You just won't be on his farm though, because I think if you're on his farm, he'll just dump it in there.
Well, I'm not on his farm. I'm on my farm.
You have contractor access,
Yeah.
so I don't think it'll pay you.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I know when we first tried it, it didn't work. So we didn't do that with the mill. We couldn't sell stuff at the mill, even though it was still technically a sell point.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe they updated it.
No pop. We need coffee. I mix and match. I'm coffee for the first part of the day, and then I actually switched to caffeine-free soda in the evenings, just so I can bloody sleep. Atomic's favorite beer is ginger beer. That's becoming more and more popular, and does anybody know why?
No idea.
I ask because I can't remember the name of the drink right now, but they are becoming very popular, and they are always served in these copper mugs. And they're really refreshing. Come on, somebody knows what they are. Probably Jonathan. Peter gave up drinking at about 45 years old. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, there's nothing that says you have to drink. And somebody likes Old Milwaukee. That's some old school budget beer right there. Graham likes a Godfather cocktail. I'm not aware of the Godfather cocktail. And Jonathan just really likes the super hard stuff. I don't care for Jack Daniels personally, but apparently he does. I know a lot of people love it. It's just not my cup of tea or cup of. How do we just turn this into the booze stream? That's the Friday night impromptus, not the Sunday family friendlies.
You haven't been streaming as much as you normally do, so you got your days mixed up. That's how.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Altoona says they were originally called Moscow mules, and he's calling them Kiev mules now, and I'm thinking that's probably because we've gotten to that point with Russia and the Ukraine where we're changing anything that has a Russian sounding name to something different. But yeah, they were Moscow mules.
Hey.
Wet Coaster, Gary, how you doing, man? For Wet Coaster, it's Lamb's Dark Navy Rum. Me personally, I like White Russians. I guess I'm gonna have to start calling those white Ukrainians though. And Paul gave up alcohol 2 years ago. Nice. I did start it, Peter. You're absolutely right. I own it. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying. Old Frosting Slosh. The pale tail with all the foam on the bottom. Oh, that's interesting. Pale tail. Oh, that's why. I really felt like I was going to get hit by the train there again. I play Southern Comfort of Jack Daniels. There you go. Dos Equis. Yeah, I'm aware of Dos Equis. They used to do those great commercials. What was that guy? The guy who... The most interesting man in the world commercials. Those are really good. Ginger beer is a very strong ginger ale, and Bundaberg from Australia is the best. Good to know. Old Jamaica Rum 100 proof. Now, rum was a very Caribbean drink. I actually made rum on my Pirates Bay playthrough.
That you did?
He did, yeah.
That was the whole goal. Because my dear departed auntie left a pirate rum recipe.
I know that's not what you got caught for, too.
No, I got busted for making fertilizer. Which actually, because exports from Russia and the Ukraine have been shut down, is becoming a big issue. Because apparently Russia was a big supplier of fertilizer to countries such as Brazil. And so that's one of the reasons they're talking about food prices and such continuing to skyrocket, because it's going to cost a lot more to produce food because they can't get the fertilizer they need from Russia anymore.
Interesting.
As long as this catastrophe continues.
Yeah, I think the governments are in talk right now.
Well, they talk. And they bomb each other and they talk.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're not going political. We're not getting into that depressing subject. I was just saying, it is affecting farmers in ways that we normally wouldn't consider. We need to do Pineapple Bay again. We need somebody to convert the map to FS22. It was actually a really good map, although the shifting bridges were a pain.
They were a pain, because they didn't actually shift, it just looked like they were.
Yep.
Yeah, I've hit the border a couple times.
Well, I hit it many, many times. I actually got to the point where I would just drive full tilt and aim for the middle and hope for the best.
Yeah.
All right, I linked up the feed factory, is what they call it.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
It's also in the one of the productions that is part of the North Frisian Market map, and they have a separate zip file for all of the productions that are in that map. You can use them in any map.
Oh, that's handy.
Oh, that's handy.
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of them are in German, and the last link I put in is all in German. So open it up in Chrome and translate it to English, so you can understand what it says.
Well, like we said earlier, nobody reads. So being in German doesn't matter because nobody's going to look at it anyway. No, I'm sure the labels and stuff in the game are probably in German too, so.
Yeah, the North Frisian March, everything's in German, and so it's a good chance to brush up on your German.
I'll just go and learn that now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, you only have to know a few words, like what is hops in German?
What's cheese in
have
German?
Yeah.
Pictures are worth 1,000 words.
That's 20,000 liters of bloody rocks off this field already.
Wow.
It's a lot of rock.
Is
That's a lot of bloody rocks, yeah. And do you guys have anything that's coming up soon-ish?
I have canola.
When's that, August?
That's next month.
Is it?
So yes. Yeah. Wheat
I
is
don't
also next month, and oats is also next month.
I don't have anything coming up till October. And then I've got both sugar beets and sugar cane.
Yeah, I know my oats are going to be ready next month, too.
I'm pretty sure my canola is going to be ready, but I'm not sure if he planted the canola late or not. So, if you planted it late, it won't be ready next month.
Oh, and Sharko was saying that you couldn't tip into the top hopper on this with this stone picker, but I'm showing everybody right now that you can. It raises up high enough to get into the rock crusher.
I don't know if that's actually dipping into the side or into a thing, but if it does, then yeah, I'm assuming the code doesn't work then.
Well, I just paid $17 for helpers. That's the only fees I'm seeing.
Maybe it's a fee at the end of the day, I have no clue.
Yeah, and it didn't pay you, so it's clearly not a sell point at the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Clearly not.
I know in the code it just says there's supposed to be a bonus for dumping into the top in the MXL file, so yeah, maybe that's the base game one or something.
Maybe.
The MXL file.
It's XML.
Oh, XML.
It's alright.
And that's my dyslexic coming into play.
Does anyone know what XML stands for?
I was told. Do I remember? No.
It stands for Extendable Markup Language.
Oh, I just thought it was an old defunct sports team. Oh wait, that's FL.
I don't know, my brain's full of useless knowledge like that.
Oh, so is mine.
Ah, everybody.
But I don't know names. Names are something I'm terrible at.
Names of what?
It's names.
Just
In general.
people's
I-
names?
People's names, I'm just terrible at. It took me a month and a half to remember my best friend's name. That's no joke.
David's telling me I missed some rocks. The width on the plow and the width on the rock collector isn't quite the same, so that does happen from time to time. I'll look at the map and see if there's any rocks left anywhere when I'm done here.
You should be going right by him right now.
Oh, there's the spot. I see it.
I was gonna say it's like the we got the rock collector slightly smaller than the plow.
But they say they're the same width, but they're not. It does well for what we've got the setup on it for, though.
Oh yeah, I think the plow is slightly wider than 9 meters, and the rock collector is slightly smaller than 9 meters.
I think you're right.
Enough where a rock can not be in the space between it. Have we tested to see if rocks can just go through fields as a rock cultivator?
Say that again?
I said, do you know if like you just bring the rock collector through a field without plowing it, would it just cultivate the field?
No, it will not.
No? Okay.
I have tested that.
Just leaves the cultivated state?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw those, Jonathan. I'll go back and pick them up here. This field has gotten pretty chunky.
Well, I'm finishing up the last bit of mulching now.
What the small pocket inside of blue jeans is for. Coins.
The small pocket in blue jeans, the small one is generally on the right-hand side, kind of above the normal pocket. It's known as a watch pocket. It's designed for a pocket watch.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it was something like that.
I was just about to say that. You beat me to the punch.
Well, I wasn't going to say pocket watch. I was going to say it was something older that people used to use because I didn't remember what it was. But
Like slide rulers?
Slide rules.
that might have been what people used it for. I don't know if that's what it was meant for.
I don't think anybody ever used it for a slide rule, because slide rules are like 15 inches long, depending on which ones you get.
I remember discovering my dad's slide rule when I was exploring the attic one day. And I tried to figure out how to use it, and it's, I know that people say it's intuitive to use once you know how to use it, but it's not something you can just look at it and say, oh, that's how you use it.
It's not easy. It's not. Yeah, it's not easy to self-learn. But once you know what you're doing, it's understandable.
From what I understand, someone who knows a slide ruler really well can basically outperform somebody with a calculator.
I can see that. And I've heard something similar to that before too.
I have to, yeah.
But then again, there's a reason why my dad chose to not use it anymore.
Because it's easier to carry around a calculator.
And I was gonna say a calculator can do a lot more than a slide ruler can. Especially when there's one constantly in your pocket nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, we are talking when I found my dad's slide rule, this was probably the 70s, so yeah, pocket calculators, no, they didn't exist. You had to actually plug them in.
Right.
I was gonna say I think slide rulers so you can only do like one thing at a time. Or now, like modern day calculators, you can type in a massive string of things and it'll do it for you.
And you can store variables in memory and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very helpful.
And David Smith says a slide rule is only accurate to 3 digits. So if you need more decimal places than 3 digits, you're out of luck. Well, this conversation has run the gamut, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Slide rules, alcohol,
It's all over the place.
fried chicken,
Coffee.
coffee.
Oh, cake. Yes.
Cake.
Well, see, cake and coffee, that's a natural progression, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I was
Wow, they are nice cakes.
I was talking to one of the ladies I've been working with who's really good. I like her a lot. She said she's a bit of a coffee snob, and I said, "Oh, you're not buying that ridiculous coffee that they collect from, these little varmints eat it and they poop the beans back out and then they go collect them and roast them." She didn't even know what I was talking about. I was like, "Good." That just sounds so disgusting.
It does.
It does.
I saw that coming.
And people pay good money for that stuff too.
Oh, it's like, what? A half pound would run like $200 or $300.
Well, it's like the dandelions. Dandelions are expensive when you're getting to the field, which is weird because you can just find them on your property.
That is weird.
Like, I always like, why is that a fine cuisine when they're just literally going to your yard and pick one?
Right. But
Yeah.
hopefully a cat or a dog hasn't, let me say, peed on it first.
Definitely there.
Well, that's really
Yeah.
cool, I play. She's got her granddad's World War II walkie-talkie set with antennas as tall as she is. That's awesome.
Oh,
Oh, that's
that would be
awesome.
awesome. Yeah.
And his old drafting kit. That's really cool.
Those old walkie-talkies with the size of briefcases, practically.
Yeah, I think they're pretty big.
They probably have good range on them too.
Are we talking about handheld walkie-talkies, or are you talking about those communication backpack kits that they used to have?
I think in World War II they were more of backpacks. Like they were not small.
Well, in
Well, they did have some small ones though.
Vietnam,
Yeah.
they were still using the backpack versions too.
I don't know what the size of them were.
I think it just depends on the situation.
Yeah. Okay, no, I'm looking at it. They seem to be more like a phone, a big brick phone.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, like they're they're bigger than obviously a thing, but that's what they look like, is a big brick with a speakerphone and a thing, with a massive antenna. That'd be cool to have.
Handheld, little bigger than bricks. Yeah. That's kind of what I was picturing. Ralph Castle, new subscriber to Harv's World. Thank you so much, Ralph, for joining up with us. When does Sprue get to see some forestry work? Probably not till we get to another map. I don't think any of us have plans to plant and cut trees.
No, I don't.
No, I don't think so.
We are
either.
playing both fields, right?
Yeah.
All right.
There is a forestry field just south of the sawmill on this particular map.
Yeah, but to buy it's $1 million.
Oh well, that there is that.
I'll
Or
go
you
get
can
my
just-
planter.
Or you can just plant poplar, because that's always fun to harvest.
Not really.
I mean, if wood chips are worth anything, it makes sense.
When are wood chips ever worth anything?
That is a very good point.
I always thought that a fun production would be to actually up north in Vermont, where I used to live, they used to collect wood chips from the various sawmills. They would compress them into pellets, and they would sell it to it's a wood burning plant that creates electricity. And I was thinking that would be a fun little production.
Well, I think in 19 you could sell it to the mass or the biogas plant.
Well, you can.
Mass, yeah.
Right, but I was thinking more of a way to actually make electricity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, 19 did have the straw harvest free DLC that allowed you to make straw pellets. Wouldn't have been that hard to convert that for wood chips. Or
No,
two
but-
wood chips
and,
or wood pellets.
and to be fair, that wasn't a DLC. That was a mod.
Well, whatever it was produced by Giants. It wasn't done by a modder.
I think it was done by a modder.
I go back and look. I'm 99% sure that was a Giants free DLC, the Straw Harvest.
I definitely wasn't a DLC. I know that much.
Well,
Now
I
you've
mean, it
got me
wasn't it
curious.
wasn't listed in DLCs.
Yes, I mean I know it wasn't listed in DLCs. I know that. So it also had the 3 wide bale collector you could use on the back of it.
Well, and it had
Of the
that
same.
it had that baler that automatically, or baler pelletizer. You could you could either be like something you tow behind, or it was also you could set up like whole factories of um, pelletizers and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
It was released by Creative Mesh.
Really?
Yep.
I'd have sworn that
In a
was
previous game, Giants released it as a free DLC. But Creative Mesh brought it to 19.
Wow. Okay. I stand corrected. See, Graham says it was a Giants mod. I don't know. I'll take anybody's word for it. It's not like I have a dog in this fight or anything. Not at all.
And I got my information from Mod Hub. So,
Fair enough.
Probably gonna be the most accurate place.
In calm lands, you can make donuts.
Ooh. Donuts are massive up here. I love my donuts.
And donuts are big everywhere.
oh yeah.
Yeah, but our coffee shops sell donuts. So,
Well,
So do
our
ours.
coffee shop sell donuts too.
I guess I'm so used to Starbucks that I don't think of it.
That's not Starbucks isn't a coffee shop.
The best donut I ever tried was we have when I was living in Vermont, there was a cider mill, where they make apple cider.
Oh, that
And
sounds
they
good.
actually
Yeah.
made apple cider donuts. Oh my gosh, they got to be the best donuts I've ever tried, and they spoiled me for life. I can't eat another donut now.
Private donut shops always make the best.
That's true.
If
Yeah.
like for some reason everybody has this big thing for Krispy Kreme, and as far as I'm concerned, Krispy
Oh,
Kreme are the
they're
trash.
horrible.
You should just feed to your wild animals.
I mean, I wouldn't even do that. I mean, I don't think they're worth that.
Those are the Krispy Kremes.
Don't care for Krispy Kremes.
Oh, those ones. We have something similar, but I prefer the ones we have up here.
Well, as far as like a chain donut place, Dunkin' Donuts is the best.
Totally agree. And Dunkin' Donuts has some of the best coffee going too.
Yeah, they have good coffee.
I was gonna say the one we have similar are old fashioned and old fashioned glazed. Even though they are, I'd say, two different. That's their name of them.
Yeah, they're just standard yeast donuts, right?
Well, yeah, the old fashioned is just literally a donut with nothing on it.
Yeah.
That's it. Old fashioned glazed isn't the same, at least up here. It's very weird to explain, but obviously it's glazed. But the shape and everything is more like a rougher shape. It looks more like, I guess I'd say, a honey bun, but donut. Or cinnamon roll, I guess I should say, with
I'm just trying to just figure out if you're talking about cake donuts or yeast donuts.
I think they're cake. I think they're normal donuts.
Oh, so it's a yeast donut. then.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what we were trying to figure out.
Yep. I like cake donuts the best, and the denser the better. And if they've got blueberry in them, even better. Crullers.
Yeah, I like-
Crullers are big too. I love a good cruller.
Actually, no, I think they're cake donuts. I think actually. I think they're cake donuts. I'm just looking this up right now because I'm curious.
The best donut is the Oreo donut. Ooh, what's an Oreo donut? Because that does sound good.
Those sound really good.
The plain Jane is a donut with nutmeg. That could be good.
Yeah, they are cake donuts.
Although I have to say, if you're going donuts but beyond, a good apple fritter just
Oh, fresh
takes
apple
the
fritter.
cake.
Especially when they're fresh and still warm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there. A fresh apple fritter. They are good. I know when I was going to college, I'd go to the cafeteria and we had a Tim Hortons. They'd make them fresh every morning. So I'd go there and get like 2 and eat it on the way to class.
Oh man.
It was good.
Best donuts are usually the small little hole in the wall shops and out of the way places. My town has a pop of about 50 and the old woman next to the mini mart has the best. Yeah, I completely agree, Atomic.
Hmm.
Jordan's grandma made jam busters and glazed donuts. Exit Zombie, talking about donuts, is a fan of Krispy Kremes apparently. I don't care for Krispy Kremes at all. You can have every one of mine.
Yeah, I actually,
Same.
for as much as a donut fan I am, I don't like them. I think, so are they yeast?
They
Donuts?
do
Yeah, they're
they
yeast
they do a
donuts.
That might be
combination of
why.
everything.
But, because I looked it up and Tim Hortons, most of theirs are cake.
But yeah, just I don't know, they're too industrial.
Yeah,
And
that's
Yeah.
fair.
they're way too sweet also. But
Mhm.
it's personal preference. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to like Krispy Kremes. I'm just
Yeah, if
saying
you
I
like
don't
them, you
like
like them.
Krispy
There's nothing about
Kremes.
that. Yeah.
I think we lost Patrick in the whole donut discussion, though.
Did you hear?
We probably made him hungry, and he had to go get a donut.
I wish I had a donut. I might now go to, after stream at some point, go and get a donut.
Yeah, I might have to
So-
go down to the gas station and pick up some donuts.
I actually just bought donuts for the folks at work this week at a nice little mom and pop shop in the city where I'm working.
Oh, nice. There's a gas station in town that makes donuts. They're not the best, but they're still pretty good.
My favorite donut is, well, I have 2. I have an old-fashioned glazed and Canadian dipped maple. Just basically like a Boston cream, but with a maple fudge on top.
Okay.
And also it has the same cream inside.
That's right, Jonathan. It's your donut. Eat it your way. Let's see. iPlay has a mom and pop shop that fills them in front of you, and they usually sell out before noon. Oh yeah, that's the best.
Oh,
Absolutely
that would
the
be.
best. Anything with apple and cinnamon, absolutely. Talk about a great flavor combination.
Mm-hmm.
The keystone to a good apple pie, apple and cinnamon. Oh, the Oreo donut's almost like a Boston cream, but in the middle is whipped cream. It's chocolate with white icing with crumpled Oreo cookies. Oh, that sounds good.
That does sound good.
Tim Hortons is Paul's only coffee shop. Maple Long Johns for iPlay. I'm not a fan of maple, so anything maple I'm probably going to turn my nose up at, but it's your tree. Eat it your way.
I think it's I don't know. I haven't tasted what maple in the States tastes like. I've never ordered anything, so I don't know if it actually is different than what our flavor of maple is.
It's maple. It's not different. It's
It-
freaking maple.
Maple syrup
get
is
some,
completely different than maple fudge.
you get some tree sap and you boil it down until it's syrupy. And yes, I know there are sugar maples and different types of maples, but maple's maple.
Well, there's. I actually disagree with that. There is the depends on how you boil it. The people that boil it with wood, that
It does
adds
taste completely different. Yeah.
a nice smoky flavor to it. You know, kind of like barbecue in some respects. And you got people who do it like natural gas or electricity, and it to me it tastes flat.
Yes, but the basic maple flavor is consistent. If you take out all the different variables that can alter the flavor or add components to the flavor, you're still going to taste the maple plus whatever is added. That's the only point I was making, is the maple flavor is the maple flavor. I mean, I've got a bottle of expensive maple syrup in my cabinet right now that was aged in previously used rum barrels. So it's going to have added flavor components to it also.
Right.
But it's still going to taste like maple
Yeah.
as its
It really
base flavor.
depends. Yeah, it really depends what you grew up with. I can, when I joined the military, there was this one guy that maple to him was N minus, all right,
Right.
artificial stuff, and I
Yeah.
had him try the real stuff, and he couldn't stand it. He says, "Oh my God, this is terrible."
That is fair. Yeah.
It's what you grew up with. On the other hand, I never tried artificial maple syrup until I was in my teens, and well, I couldn't stand the artificial stuff. It just didn't taste like maple syrup.
That's-
I'm iffy because they do taste completely different. I prefer like the stuff made quickly just from like an Eggo or something, like Eggos or whatever. I'll just throw like the factory made or whatever on there. But if it's like a good meal or whatever, or you're cooking with it, it tastes a lot better with the real stuff.
well, it's-
And all of it too is the grade of maple syrup that you're.
Yeah, the grade makes a big
And-
difference too.
So when I was growing up, they didn't call them light amber, dark amber, whatever. Those classifications didn't exist. They used to call it fancy, grade A, grade B, grade C, and grade D. And a lot of people at the grocery stores, especially down south, what they tend to get is B and C, or basically medium amber and dark amber.
Yeah.
And they have a very strong maple taste, which some people don't really care for. But if you really want to put it on like your pancakes or whatnot, you need to go for the much higher grade, which is light amber or even a grade above that. But it's also really expensive, and it has almost no color. It looks like water.
That's what I was going to say. It's a lot of that's just cost effectiveness, because maple syrup is incredibly expensive, and the higher grade, the more expensive it becomes. And like,
It is.
iPlay got used to the maple flavoring because her son is allergic to chocolate, so she needed something sweet that he didn't cause him to break out. So,
That's fair.
Yeah.
and you can make the same
Yeah.
arguments about chocolate. I mean, chocolate.
Yeah, I'm actually.
So many different levels of chocolate. It's
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of actually chocolate. My favorite chocolate, which I know it's not really chocolate, is white chocolate. I think that tastes much better, but it is very strong.
and I don't
You know
care for
that. white
chocolate. It'll give me the darkest chocolate you got. Well, okay,
I can't
within
stand
reason.
dark chocolate.
Well, dark chocolate's the best. And Kevin, you're absolutely right, man. A hot blueberry muffin with melted butter and a cup of coffee.
That sounds
Oh,
good.
that
Sign-
sounds like a really good breakfast.
Sign me up, brother. I love blueberry muffins.
It does sound good. I mean, maybe not the blueberry part. Mine would be more of a banana muffin, but the idea is still there. It sounds great.
No, when I was a kid, we used to go out picking blueberries.
Ooh.
Oh yes, you actually go to the bush and you actually individually pick them. And of course, I was like 5 years old at the time, and so I would, we would pick. I'd like fill up to like maybe it was an inch on the bottom of my pail, and then I decided that I wanted to eat them, so I ate them all, and then I started picking some more. And that was my blueberry experience.
It's
Yeah, I
fun.
went raspberry picking when I was younger. That's what we did as a family.
Around our house, we had a lot of mulberry bushes, and they mulberries kind of look like blackberries to some degree. But for some reason, and I think this has to do with like not her age necessarily, but just the view of that particular age group on these things. But they were just like considered trash berries, and I mean we could have had bucket loads of them, but she wouldn't go near them. But they were delicious. Like we'd go out and pick them off the bush and just eat them like candy. But you know, Mom, do you want us to bring you some mulberries? No, you keep those things out of here. So I don't know what, why there was such a. Maybe somebody out there does. Maybe one of the audience knows why mulberries were considered not good. I think I've heard a story about it before. I just can't remember.
It could also just be, yeah, like you were saying, the way you grow up, right? If you're used to people saying it's disgusting, you're probably going to assume the taste is.
It wasn't a flavor issue with her, though. It was something else, and I think it was a societal view on mulberries. But I just can't remember it.
It reminds me of a story of my dad. His mom just absolutely hated onions, and he thought for the longest time that he hated onions too, and he would get on my mom's case about don't cook with onions, I don't like them. And then one day my mom decided to take onions. She put them through a blender and chopped them up and mixed them with the food, and my dad's like, oh man, this is so good. Why is it so good? He says, I put onions in it.
I know, when I was young, like really young, like 4 and all that, like 3 and all that, I loved ketchup. I'd have ketchup in everything. Like, there's one time we were at a restaurant, and I got upset because I couldn't put ketchup in my, Coke.
Ugh.
I don't know why.
Coke.
Yes. Like, I loved ketchup. I don't know why, but I did. And then when I hit around, like, the age of 8, I could not stand the taste of it.
You burnt yourself out on it.
I'm assuming I did. Which is weird, because I love everything else about it. I just can't stand the taste of ketchup. If you've tried, like last year, still couldn't stand the taste of it, but I love everything. I love, like, tomatoes, I love the vinegar, and I love salt.
Yeah, I don't care for ketchup either, but usually it's not that I hate it. Like I don't mind it. It's just not something I really look for or want.
I can't stand the taste, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just something that I've had so much, the taste now is just not there or something. I don't know, but
Maybe you ate so much you made yourself sick on it, and now it's impossible.
that is, I'm assuming that's what it is. Because like I said, I put it on everything as a kid, so I'm assuming that's what happened. But yeah, I just, which is weird because I love Lay's ketchup chips. That is true.
Jordan, what's a Saskatoon? Other than there's a city I know called Saskatoon, but you say there's a lot of Saskatoons around here. What does that mean? Eric is making bread with oats and a tablespoon of maple syrup. That might be okay.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
where
I do love ketchup chips. to be
Wet
fair,
coaster. We only have pure, grade A, dark, and robust. The only ingredient is pure maple syrup. Okay, that's interesting. Chopped onions and mashed potatoes. I have not tried that, but that does not sound bad at all.
It does sound pretty good.
Jonathan thinks you're a nut, Sharko.
I love ketchup chips. They're good. Well, I say Lay's ketchup chips because they taste nothing like ketchup.
Oh, Saskatoons are a type of berry? I've never heard of that before.
Neither have I.
Kind of like a blueberry, but smaller. Oh, you're talking about huckleberries. In the Pacific Northwest, people will go out in the spring and harvest huckleberries, and they look like tiny blueberries. And they sell for like $50 a pound.
That's expensive.
Well, the reason that they're so expensive is they only grow in the wild. They've been unsuccessful in trying to cultivate them.
That makes more sense then.
Which seems weird, but yeah. So there's only one growing season, and you've got to get out and pick them all you can.
Might be similar to the trees that can only grow once there's a forest fire.
Could be.
It sounds like it probably is.
Because there's trees out there that they will not grow unless there's like basically a forest fire. Oh, I'm a nut for putting ketchup in my Coke. Yeah, that's fair. Very
Well,
fair point.
to be fair, he was a small child at the time. Now he's
I
just
was
a
very small.
now he's a big child. So he knows better than to put ketchup in his Coke.
That's just weird. Nothing goes in pop.
Can you honestly say to yourself that anything you did as a small child actually made any sense?
Nope.
No, not really.
No.
I used to tie strings across, well, I don't know if I say used to, but I tied strings across the bottom of a doorway because I wanted to see if it really would trip somebody. I remember doing that when I was a kid and getting in real trouble for it.
Oh gosh, yeah, I can imagine.
I was a horribly curious child. And it used to get me in trouble all the time.
Yeah, I got into my mom's medicine and I was playing with them when I was little. This is back when I was actually like 2, I think, 2.5. So my mom comes up and just sees me with all her medication on the floor. She's like, okay. So I got rushed to the hospital.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't actually eat any of them. So.
Oh, I had my mom's finger down my throat many times.
Oh no, they're all over the place. So she didn't know if I eaten any by that point. So I was rushed to the hospital. They fed me things to make me throw up because they didn't know if I ingested any or not.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
old school way was if they even thought you had ingested something bad, we didn't have the money to go to the hospitals. It was mom jamming her finger down your throat, forcing you to throw up. Which is awful.
That does sound awful.
But it works.
Well, actually, apparently though, what they made me was like this black tar stuff. It did not smell apparently good. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's meant to make you throw up, so.
I don't think.
Is it Ipecac? Is that the thing that makes you throw up?
Yeah, Ipecac syrup.
Yeah.
That might have been what it was. I just know my mom said it was black and it smelled terrible.
That's what you get for playing with mom's meds.
I know.
You have to go through that experience once or twice. You won't do it again.
No. I don't think I ever touched medicine again. Or, like, I didn't go anywhere near it. Like, nope. No, I'm not doing that again.
Child-proof caps that said, not intended for Sharkos.
Well, I think except the little, I was very creative. So I would literally sit there and fool around with those child-proof things. I think when I figured them out constantly at, like, age 4, I knew how to open child-proof things. So.
That's when your parents get a locking drug. Yeah, you know what I mean. A locking
medicine cabinet.
Medicine cabinet.
At that point, they just put it up out of reach.
I remember when I was young, my aunt always had trouble opening the child safety caps on her medicine. But I could just pop the cap right off.
Mm-hmm.
So you were not a safe child.
Me?
I was gonna say it got quiet.
Talking about me? No, I
Oh
was
yeah.
not a safe child.
Oh. Well, you're just popping off, medicine cabinets or medicine caps.
This. Oh. No.
Child-proof caps are adult-proof caps and child-friendly.
Well, you're
Is that
saying
true?
Caveman wasn't a safe child. This is the guy who, as a young boy in the Boy Scouts, beat a coyote to death, which is why he's named Caveman.
He's not wrong either.
No, I'm not. I've heard this story several times. Beat a coyote to death with a club, and all of his friends started calling him Caveman, and it stuck. Which, why wouldn't it?
I mean, yeah, I think that definitely would.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I mean, I'm sorry we're going to lose you here, Kev, but have fun playing with your son, man. Kevin is a drummer when he's not inspecting vehicles.
I have 3 pallets of clothes. That's a lot of money.
That is 100, well, not quite, maybe 90, 80, or 90,000, depending on when
Around
you sell them.
90,000. Yeah.
We're all going to be making money hand over fist here before too long. One
Well,
more
yeah.
pass and these fields will be done.
Nope, and then we can skip a day.
Yeah, and then we can dive right into the oat field. Done. Oh wait, not quite. Almost. There's a couple little rocks along this edge that I missed. Being stupid.
How much cotton do I have left? Oh, my bale's only 7,000 liters left of cotton.
Is that all?
That's it.
Are you sure?
It says 7,000 on the bale, so.
We're going through. It's going through it faster than I thought it would.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
for sure.
I mean, I think it's gone for almost a year now since I've got it, so.
Caveman is just a Neanderthal. Nice play on words there. I like it.
That's a good one.
All right, guys, I have to take off. I got some errands I got to run around the house.
Well, thanks for joining us, Patrick. Appreciate having you with us today.
Yeah, it was a
we
blast.
appreciate having you.
We're probably not that far from wrapping up ourselves, but let's at least get to tomorrow. Oh,
Great.
that's funky.
Well, I'll see you next week then.
All right, take care, Patrick.
Yeah, take care.
We made about 100 ourselves, Bruce. We made a lot of freaking bales too,
Oh, yeah.
and probably going to make about 75 more or so, if not more than that, because there's a big freaking oat field right there that's ready to harvest up also. And all of this will go in the flour mill also, guys.
I need to move my, wool. Both of my, sheep pens are full of wool.
Okay.
There we go.
Are we putting any of this in the silo for feed or no?
That's oats, and I don't have any horses,
Oh,
so
oats. Oh, my bad. Oats.
nope. This is pure flour production right here. Right back where we started from, in a manner of speaking. in a manner of speaking.
I'll go get the mulcher. Which I brought back to my farm. Battlefield's gonna be done so quick with the 2 harvesters over there.
All right, guys. Well, very, very, very productive Sunday. Well, at least for my farm. We're probably going to make a push through a couple of months before you see us again next Sunday. Well, we'll see what happens. Gamergenics, nice to see you with us, but unfortunately, it's time for us to call it a day. I gotta do laundry and pack for my weekly trip tomorrow. Caveman Sharko, any final thoughts or words?
See you
We'll
next
see
Sunday.
everybody back here on Sunday.
Sunday. Casa, we are just wrapping up, man. So sorry. Mostly early summer harvest. We'll have a whole bunch more harvesting to do on the other guys' fields now that we've advanced a month. But anyway, guys, as always, we very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.